poultry meat processing factory that I mentioned, once it sets up, of course, it will run 24-hour shift, because there will be so much meat to be processed that they have to run 24-hour shift. And so those are the kind of examples that we have that are that are about to be implemented.
Yeah, but the usual challenges, you already have people, for instance, who are importing foodstuffs, and what happens to them? We are not saying they are doing the wrong thing, but if we are producing everything ourselves, we don't also want to affect the kind of business they do.
Why?
So what happens there?
No, I mean, nothing happens. I mean, they are importing because they've seen a shortfall in production. So once they see that, Ghanaian farmers are producing more maize or more rice, especially rice, they'll stop importing and they'll join in farming of the rice.
Yeah, we've always had this challenge where perhaps we may produce stuff, and then if it's in bulk, where to store it up, especially when it's not in season, and then becomes a challenge where it goes bad and stuff. Do we have any systems in place where we can address these issues now?
The National Buffer Stock Company was instituted in 2010, and it was instituted because we realized there were excess farm produce on the farms. And so it was instituted to be able to mop up the excesses, store it, and release it into the market when there's shortage. Exactly what is happening now. We have a lot of rice, we have a lot of maize, and so on and so forth. And that's how come the buffer stock initially was given 100 million to be able to buy all these excesses. Now it's been given an additional 200 million Ghana cedis to be able to mop up the excesses of the rice and the maize and other commodities or other cereals that are on the market. And so those are the plans that we have. And I can tell you for a fact that within the next few days or few weeks, most of these farmers' produce will be bought by the National Buffer Stock Company Limited.
And then there's a chance that we also get exported after we fed ourselves.
Yes, of course. Of course. I mean, I know that there are talks with other countries to be able to come and buy some of our rice to go and mill in their respective countries. And so all these things are plans that are underway to be able to help the farmers mitigate their losses.
So beyond Nkoko and Ketekete, the feed Ghana, what other policies are enhancing access to inputs or perhaps mechanization for the farmers?
So this year we are building farm service centers. Now, farm service centers are structures, huge structures that you have warehouses, you have offices, you have tractors, it's fully mechanized. Now, so in the past, you realize that when farmers in the north want to start farming, they have to wait for tractors from the south, from Ejira, from Nkoranza, and so on and so forth. And when also farmers from the south